guys, it's Rob, and I'm going to be reviewing Guillermo del Toro's Pacific Rim. It's set in the future where aliens are emerging from beneath the Pacific Ocean, and countries throughout the world have joined forces to create these giant fighting machines called Jaegers, operated by two humans to take these aliens down. It's kind of like a tribute to the Japanese monster movies like Godzilla and Rodan. So what was my impression of Pacific Rim when I left the theater? Well, I thought it was a great looking movie, but I ended up feeling a little bit underwhelmed with the characters themselves. Let's start with the good points. The look of the movie was just fantastic. I mean, the sets, the costumes, the lighting. I mean, I had my hopes kind of down during the trailers because I thought the machines themselves, the Jaegers, looked like they kind of reminded me of video game animation, but in the final film they looked really, really good. And I thought the CGI mixed very well with the actors and the sets and the fight scenes themselves. And I also thought it was very clever to have the invaders come from underneath the Earth instead of from outer space, which in most science fiction and fantasy films that's where they come from. And the voiceover at the beginning of the movie, it tells you what has been going on without sounding like a forced lecture like in Oblivion or After Earth. It kind of reminded me of World War Z, where, you know, they tell you what you needed to know and you kind of and that's when you kind of get involved. It doesn't sound like you're being banged over the head with details. They tell you what you need to know. There's some visuals to go along with it that actually helps, helps tell the story very much. But during the movie, I felt like I really didn't get to latch onto the characters. I mean, you had the lead hero who, he disobeys orders. You had the strict general or marshal character in charge. You have a character that nobody else believes in except for the lead character. I mean, most of them, I had an idea of who they were, but I felt like I didn't get to know them enough to root for, well, most of them enough to root for during some of the fight scenes, when the heroes are supposed to be going at it. You got to know a few of them through, some characters do get some flashback scenes, and for me, that helped me make them more rounded out. But some of the others, like, I think his name was Riley, the main character, I think, like, as I was just watching the film, I just felt like I wasn't entirely engrossed in these characters, I really wanted to, for me, I felt like if they were perhaps a little bit more developed. I mean, like I said, there's enough information in there so you know a little bit. I also kind of found the two scientists in the film to be doing a lot of overreacting, and I found them to be very annoying. And Ron Perlman's in this movie too. He plays this black market dealer. He made a very nice, badass character. I felt like he didn't do a whole lot in the movie, but it was really nice to see him play that part. Pacific Rim, I thought, delivered on creating a visual spectacle with exciting action and fights, even though in the end I found some of the characters to be very uninteresting. I think if you're an action movie fan, I think you will definitely enjoy the movie, but if you want something with a developed story and characters to go along with the action, then I don't think this may be the movie for you. I think this movie has been definitely clicking. Maybe I don't know if I'm stereotyping it, but I think the people that are enjoying this movie are perhaps more fans of, perhaps, like I said, the Japanese animation movies or something like that, and people that really, really want to go see the movie for the actions more than for the characters or story themselves. I definitely think this movie is definitely going to have a very strong cult following with the action-oriented movie fans, perhaps a little bit more than mainstream audiences. So even though I thought it was a very good-looking movie, I felt like I didn't really get into the characters quite as much as I wanted to. So I was kind of, for a long time, I was really torn between whether to give this a see it in theaters rating or rent it. This movie was not bad that I would give it a snuff it. So after thinking really long and hard about it, I'm going to give the movie a mild see it in theaters rating. Like I said, I think if you're more into action, I think you will definitely enjoy it more. But I think if you want something more out of it, I don't think this is the movie for you, but, that's just my opinion. So what's your opinion on Pacific Rim? Why don't you go ahead and post a comment in the comment box and tell me, and if you have any feedback on the video, go ahead and post that as well. And if you haven't done so, consider subscribing to R&B Reviews. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to reading your comments about the movie, and thanks very much for your time.